Hi, this is Dr. Frank Chopatini with the Church of Rational Truth. First, we're going to talk about the passive income voting. This week, we will vote on where the passive income will go for this or for last month, and it's going to be either reinvestment in the general fund or going towards the church/physical library fund. Usually, those are our two options, but we'll see where the money goes after the voting is in by Saturday. Uh, Today's topic is playing devil's advocate and what that means, why we should do it, and what we can gain from doing it. Playing devil's advocate is taking the opposing stance or taking the unpopular stance in terms of a particular topic or opinion. So basically, you take an idea and then kind of flip it and kind of see it from the opposing viewpoint. A lot of people would say, well, why would I want to do that? I have my viewpoint. I think my viewpoint is right. Why should I look at a viewpoint that I think is just flawed, wrong, biased, immoral? And that's, yeah, most people don't want to do that. Most people have their opinions because they believe their opinions are right. But the benefit of playing devil's advocate is it helps you see flaws in your own opinion. It can help you kind of see why someone would have that opposing opinion. People, if you go on the internet all the time, you'll see people fighting over opposing opinions. And if you look at it, you might say, why the heck does this one person believe this thing that's opposite or just differing from my opinion on a topic? And if you play devil's advocate, you can actually kind of work through and see maybe what their logical thoughts are or how they kind of came to that opinion. Another benefit is it can help show you flaws in your own logic. So if you have an opinion on something, if you kind of flip it and work through the opposing opinion, you can kind of see, oh, these are some points or some counterpoints to the points that I had made that actually might, not necessarily disprove, but kind of find some holes in your own argument or help you even just refine your own argument. Not necessarily that your opinion is completely wrong, but that some things might need to be enhanced, modified, adjusted because there are certain counter arguments that kind of go against your own opinion. Um, I think it helps people gain some empathy. A lot of times you just see heated hatred and angry discussions really that don't create anything when you have a debate or a back and forth about a certain topic. If you just get more hot, more angry, and you conflate the situation, you don't learn anything. The opposing person doesn't gain anything. You kind of just get entrenched in your own opinions. And that's really not the point of having a debate or discussion. It's hopefully going to be sharing ideas. It's hopefully both people are going to gain something out of it. And if you can't kind of see the other person's view, if you can't play devil's advocate, well, you're a lot less likely to kind of gain anything on your own. I think it can gain empathy for people. If you have difficulty seeing why someone else believes their thoughts, it's really hard to think like that person, understand that person, or empathize with that person. If you play devil's advocate and then try and rationalize things the way that they do, then you can kind of come to grips with how they think or how their logic works and how it's different than your own. It's not necessarily meaning that yours is wrong and theirs is right. Many times, conflicting opinions are just because people use different logic and reasoning to come to their opinions. And then if you play devil's advocate, you can just better understand that person and how they came to have an idea that is different than yours. One thing that I worry about a lot is people blindly following an opinion or a thought on a topic where they're just so entrenched in their own opinion that they don't waver, they don't change. They go, well, this is what I've always thought. This is why it's right. And they have their own logical points that probably do make sense, but they never even open their mind to opposing or other thoughts or why they might be wrong. The danger here is if you don't open yourself to those points, you can hold a very wrong opinion. You can have an opinion that has many logical flaws that you are just blind and you don't see because you are so entrenched and unwavering in yours. If you're able to go and see the opposite viewpoint, or if you're able to ration through the opposite viewpoint, you'll actually possibly find some of your own viewpoints that might actually be flawed, illogical, or wrong. Not saying all of them are going to be, but it's a good kind of test to see, hey, are the things that I believe in actually accurate and true? Or can I really just prove them and probably reevaluate my stance on a topic? People blindly follow ideologies, and that can be very dangerous. It can lead to very unrational or unintelligent forms of thinking and ways of acting. Nobody is perfect. No ideology is perfect. And I would say the best way to improve someone's ideology or thoughts is by trying to find the flaws in it, trying to go from the opposite viewpoint and seeing where am I wrong in my reasoning, so then you can refine it and even possibly make better arguments for your viewpoint. Because of that, you can strengthen your viewpoint by finding your own flaws. Um, I would say that's the quick of it. I think most people hesitate to play devil's advocate. Many times it's just because the topic is so divisive, or that the opposite side is so difficult to defend that they just don't do it whatsoever. And there's plenty of topics that are very hard to play devil's advocate because they are so divisive, or the opposing stance is so negative or so clearly wrong that it's hard for you to try to see it from a viewpoint that would see it as the correct stance. But by doing so, you can start strengthening your own stance or even modifying it so that it's better. I think that's kind of it for this. I would go into more specific examples, but I think if I do that, this is going to be beating a dead horse. If you guys have any interesting topics or interesting things that it would be a fun exercise to do in being the devil's advocate, please put them in the comments. Love to hear from you. We'll be back next week with the voting results and then another topic for the Sunday lecture. I want to say thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you all again next week. This is Dr. Frank Ciopatini again, signing off from the Church of Rational Truth. You all have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye. I did start going.